y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, but I'm gonna keep it brief. On May 14, 2022, an 18-year-old white boy drove 200 miles to a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. There he committed mass murder, killing 10 people and injuring 3, all while live streaming the whole attack on Twitch. I'm not watching that. The very next morning, a shooter walked into a church in that very same neighborhood and attempted another shooting, but was stopped in the lobby. Now here's the thing. It's not like we are surprised niggas are driving hours away from their home to harm people in the name of whiteness. Kyle Rittenhouse just got let go for that. But what is completely ludicrous, to me at least, was this boy's manifesto. He said he targeted this town because it had the highest concentration of black people nearest to him, and he felt it was his due diligence to wipe out as many of them as they could to fight against the ethnic, cultural, and racial replacement of white people in order to prevent white genocide. Genocide? Has he seen Hotel Rwanda? The Diary of Anne Frank? The Trail of Tears? This is what's known as the Great Replacement Theory. What the f is wrong with y'all? And it just dawned on me. How does an active shooter make it out alive? Niggas die for less, 10 shots in the back for running, shot to death if anybody even thinks they have a weapon. So how, Sway, are mass murderers making out of the door, much less the trial? Come on, somebody. Like, replace? You niggas are literally being preserved, and it's the worst of y'all. The boy said he was exposed to this theory on a website called 4chan in the midst of his pandemic boredom in 2020. It only took 2 years for this boy to be indoctrinated into the trench coat mafia. And I'm using the word boy intentionally here because y'all love to infantilize white youths and make it seem like they are incapable of making bad decisions, that they deserve chances to be good men, when white boys have historically demonstrated capability of insidiously malevolent behavior, directly resulting from a combination of indoctrination, a childlike imagination, and little to no experiences with facing the consequences of their actions. This is why we need critical race theory. It will literally help everybody. The white genocide theory claims non-white individuals are being brought into the United States and other Western countries to replace white voters to achieve a political agenda. And I just love how they like to deduce staying alive and basic human rights to political agendas. More tea, please. And it's like you would think black people are just being extra or want to play the race card when we talk about reproductive rights being taken away because white women are the ones getting all the abortions. But then you see niggas acting on like this. And the theory itself is not new. Hell, it's literally informed by the same racist ideas that decided the slave trade, but it's been around as early as the 1900s. When literal eugenicists were writing manifestos, Madison Grant, for example, in 1916 wrote The Passing of the Great Race, saying that Nordic and Anglo-Saxon whites were in danger of being wiped out. Huh? No, y'all just don't like to admit the fact that you like us and it's the mixed babies out here that are taking y'all out, not immigration. Madison Grant's work influenced the 1924 Immigration Act, which limited non-white immigration for 40 years. But anti-immigration laws had been targeting Mexicans and the Chinese well before that. Do you know Hitler called Grant's work his Bible? All of Hitler's genocidal tactics were influenced by Jim Crow, by the way. American racism is disgusting, and so are you sons of bitches that subscribe to it. Y'all are literal nutcases out here. My master's thesis was all about tracing the evidence of psychopathic and sociopathic behavior amongst whites for centuries, not as any result of hereditary mental health issues. No, just racism. You are bad shit. Tucker Carlson has mentioned the Great Replacement Theory in over 400 episodes of Fox News since 2016, fear-mongering about white terror when white terror is completely baseless. Black people all over the country are now frequently scoping out their surroundings wherever they go because at any moment they could be racially profiled, or somebody in a trench coat might want to let the chopper sing in a grocery store. And I just want to remind y'all that it is exhausting. I had a white woman DM me the day it happened and say, I miss the way you used to advocate for black lives. Would love to see you get more prominent again. This tragedy matters. Now, I don't want to call nobody out their name, but not only are you out of line and simply incorrect, but for her and anybody else who might be confused, never a non-black person should ever have anything to say about how a black person in particular processes these events. There have been 97 episodes of Parking Lot Pimpin'. It is nothing short of an act of God that I have found anything left to say. So how about you do the talking in these instances and leave us colored enough proximity to ignore black tragedy every now and then if it means we can have peace for just a second.